Hi there, I'm Eitan, and welcome back to the Wix Wiz. I'm really excited to share today's topic. It's a kind of experimental new feature that I'm working on, and that is the ability to turn your Wix website into a free PDF generator. And essentially, the way it works is that you can build a template out of Wix elements on a page of your Wix website, and then populate it with data by connecting it to a data set and, for example, having a user submit a form, and then it will generate a PDF out of that page of your website. So no need to use kind of any third-party API except for the one that I pre-built and will provide you with, which is free at the moment. So if you want to follow along and see how it's done, please, let's get started. So before we get started with actually writing some code on our site, I want to show you a little bit about my setup because I've actually done a lot of work prior to what we're about to do. And I'm going to do a walkthrough of it, but we're not going to do a code along because some of this stuff is rather complex and it's kind of like hashed together from a lot of different sources that I found on the internet. And I'm going to do my best to provide you through a Wix block with all of this code pre-packaged. So you won't have to deal with this code that we're actually going to show right now, but you will have to do the next part, which I'm going to code along with you. Okay, so let me show you what I'm actually talking about. So first of all, what I did in order to make this possible is I deployed my own server on a service called Render. And let me just show you the code from my actual server. So I'm going to switch here to Visual Studio. And it's a very simple Express server that's running something called Puppeteer. And Puppeteer is a package which basically allows you to mimic certain behaviors of a browser, among other things. And basically what we're doing on this server is we're taking a specific URL that's sent to the server, and we're using Puppeteer in order to transform it into a PDF, and we're returning it from the server as a buffer. Okay, so really that's the only thing that this server does. But because we can't do that on Wix Backend because of certain elements that Puppeteer needs to work, I had to build this on an external server. The rest of the pre-written code is on our Wix site. So let me just show you what that is. But even this code, I'm not expecting you to write yourself. It is something that I do hope to provide ready-made. So that is what you see here in this PDF generator file. And essentially what this does is it uses a package called Axios to make a call to the server, the PDF generating server that I created, and it sends over a specific URL, and it gets the buffer back, and then we use this media manager method of .upload in order to take that file and upload it to our site. For this, now it's in my upload folder subfolder. This could also be changed to something like generated PDFs, let's say, or whatever folder you want. And I also build it so that this will take a file name so that we can name our PDF files as we wish. And the whole rationale behind what we're going to do is essentially we are going to use one of the pages on our website to create a template for PDFs. So this will be a template that we're going to be able to populate with different kind of data, and then use that URL of that page on our website with everything I just showed you in order to generate a PDF. So the URL that we're going to provide that PDF generator is essentially a URL from our site that we have full control of and we can actually build out as a template. So now that I gave you that background, which I hope was comprehensible, we're going to jump in and actually start building out the template on the page of our site. Okay, so now let's start building out our PDF template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some text elements to this page on our website. And what we're going to do is we're essentially going to populate those text elements using data that can be changed based on what you want to generate in the PDF. So let me add in, let's say, a heading, and I'll call this title, even though I probably made this heading 1. So let's make this heading 2. Yeah, there we go. So this will be our title. And then we'll add in a little more text. So let's say something over here. And this will be our paragraph. And let's also add in an image just to make it a little nice. So let's add an image. And again, these are all placeholders for the actual data that we'll have in our in our PDF. Now we want to connect this to data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a collection. Let's go over here, my collections, create collection. And this we'll call it PDF data. And we have a title, so I'm going to add a field for the paragraph. Let's call it paragraph. And I'm going to add one field for the image, and this is going to be an image field. So let me look for image, and there we go. And it'll just be called image. That's totally fine. Awesome. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add some random data here into my collection. So this, let's say this is a title, and this is a paragraph, and then this image will just be a random image from Wix. So let me go media from Wix, and we'll pick this nice family at home. Awesome. So imagine that this is the data that you want to push to your PDF. And now we need to bind this data to these elements on our page. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to add a data set. So add content elements, and I'm going to add in a data set. And I'm going to link this data set to our PDF data. And I'm only going to have it display one item. So max items to be display 1. And I'm going to link this to the data. So this title is going to be and paragraph, and this will be linked to the image. So to understand what's going on here, think about for a second what is going to happen when we load this page on our website. That's essentially the same thing that will be in the URL that we pass to the PDF generator. Okay? So if this data were to change, then the URL would change, the actual HTML that's being displayed on the page would also change, and we'd be able to generate a different PDF based on different data. That's kind of the thought process that's going in here. So I'm just going to publish this to make sure that this URL is live, and we can also just check it out here. It's at /PDF. Okay, so this is essentially what we're going to be generating a PDF of. And the way we're going to do that is let's add a button. So I'm going to go to my home page, and I'm going to add in a button. And this button, I'm just going to write on it, generate PDF. And we're going to write some Velo code now to link this to what we have in the backend. So let me zoom in a little bit. Awesome. So I'm going to call this button generate PDF button, generate PDF button. And here from the backend, I'm going to import this function, generate PDF. Okay. And importing that over here from from backend /PDF generator. And then what we're going to do is just in the event listener for the button, we are going to fire off this generate PDF. So let's select that button and on click. And we're going to say const PDF equals await generate PDF. We have a little error here because this needs to be asynchronous. And here we still need to pass in some parameters. So we need to pass in the URL, which is this URL for our page. So let me put that right over here. Const URL. And now everything is kind of being a little hard-coded just for demonstration purposes, but we'll talk shortly about how we can make this a little more flexible and useful. So const URL will be this page of my site. And here we're going to generate the PDF from the URL, and let's call it a file name. So I'm going to call it test3 because I've already done tests 1 and 2 before. So let's put it like that, and I'll say console.log PDF. Awesome. So I'm going to publish this, and let's view our site. And I'm going to open up the console, and I'm going to hit generate PDF. Let's see what's going on here. I don't see anything happening. There we go. It took some time. Okay, so here you can see the information of the file that we generated in Wix. Okay, so what we did is we sent the URL to the server turned it into a buffer for a PDF, and then our server on Wix in our backend files took that buffer and uploaded it to Wix. So now we have access to this file on Wix. Let me just show you where it's being stored. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And if I go over here to our media, and you can see here test3 will show more. And generated PDFs. Going to go into that folder, and you can see here test3. And I'm going to copy the URL, and I'm just going to open it here in a new tab. And you can see here that we have generated a PDF from our page of our Wix website. And it has the data that we put in and everything. So essentially what we just did is we created a free PDF generator out of our Wix website using one of the pages on our site. And now I want to talk about how we can, take this up a level and use this in kind of more dynamic situations. So to demonstrate a more advanced use case of this PDF generator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a custom form on another page of my site. And what we're going to do is when that form submits, we're going to generate the PDF based on the submission of that form. So let me go here to my pages, and I'm going to add a new page, just a blank page, and I'm going to call it form. And let me just make sure that the URL is also set to form, just so it'll be easy to navigate to. Yeah, awesome. And here we're going to build a custom form that corresponds to the fields that we had inside of our PDF template. So I'm going to add in some inputs. So let me add in a text input, and this will be for the title. Okay, so here, let's say, add a title. We can add here a field title, lots of title. And I'm going to add in another kind of longer text box. This will be for the paragraph. And let's call this here paragraph. And right. Sorry, I'm getting a little lazy. And we'll have an image upload as well. Okay, so let's add in an upload button. So input, upload buttons, and we'll just put one of these right over here. And this will be to upload an image. And I'll add in a submit button so that somebody could submit this form. So let's add this in, and we'll click submit. And then what we'll do is I'll add in a file holder. So let's look over here for, I forgot what it's called. It's a document. Do we have something like that? Document buttons. Awesome. And let's take this one with the PDF. And for now, I'll put it on, oh, do I need to put one in advance? So let me put it with this test3 PDF. Yeah, and basically what I'm going to do is if we go to, does this document element not have, interesting. So I thought that this would allow us to document. Let's see if there's a document element. Let's see. Oh, here. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Search result documents. No. Okay. We'll have to find another solution for that. But basically what I want to do is I want to allow the person to view the PDF once it has been generated. Another option for doing that might be to get the download URL. So let's see, media download URL. Returns a download URL. Let's see, that's the back end. Let's see if there's anything in the front end that we can do. No, I guess this is all media backend. Download files, get download URL. Okay, let's use this. So basically what I'll do is I'm going to add another backend file for media, and I'm just going to paste this right over here. And here we're going to pass in the Wix file URL. So if you're not familiar, basically Wix has different URLs for their internal management and the downloadable ones and the public ones. So there's different kind of file formats, file URLs for different situations. So like if you take this URL and you go and you put it in your browser, you won't be able to navigate to it. So what we're trying to do is to get a URL that the person can use to download to their computer. So I'm just going to call this get download URL. And we can import this in the front end and use it to download the URL once it comes back. So I think this will become more clear once we actually submit the form. So let's link up our form using simple data binding with a data set. You could also technically submit the form using Velo code, but dataset's just going to be quicker and it'll do the same thing. So let's add this over here, and we're going to submit it to the PDF dataset. So it's going to be a write for the dataset mode. And let's just link each of these up to the corresponding fields. So this will be linked to title. This will be linked to paragraph. This will be linked to the image. And the submit will be linked to the submit button functionality. So click action goes to submit. And let's just add a success message. And let's add a failure message. Awesome. And let me just double check the collection and make sure that we have the permissions that we want on it, which is that anybody can submit to it. So anyone can view, and admin can add content. I'm going to change this to anyone. Click save over here. Now any visitor to the site shouldn't have an issue submitting this form. And basically what I want to do now is set up the ability to download the PDF after the form is submitted. So for that, we're going to need to hop in and do some Velo coding. So let me zoom in a little bit. And let me call this submit button. And actually, we're not going to do it on the button. So I just called it submit button for nothing. What I do want to do is do this based on the data set. Okay, so let's rename the data set. So this is going to be PDF data set. And what we're going to do is we're going to be using this after save. Okay, after save is what's going to run after this form is submitted successfully. So you could click over here to add it in the event handlers, or you can just add it here on your onReady function. So let's select our data set. I'm going to zoom right back in so you can see. Going to select our data set. So that's PDF dataset dot on after save. And here, what we're going to do is actually get our PDF. So we can use the same code that we used on the home page. Let's go to the home page. And I'm just going to copy all this over because it's going to be very similar. So we're importing this and we're using this. I'm going to control copy and head back to the other page, the form page. I'm just going to paste this here for reference. So this will be on the top level. And this is what's going to go inside of the after save, and we'll make this async. So let me just explain what's going to happen now. So basically, what's going to happen is we're using the same PDF generator URL as before. I'm going to call the file test4 instead of test3, just that we don't have two files with the same name. And what I am 95% sure is going to happen is that once we navigate to this URL, it will be populated with the data from the form that we just submitted. And that is because it's only using one item in the data set that's connected to the template, and that item will always be the top item. So once we submit this form, that will become the most recent item, and that will populate the template. Let me clarify that I don't recommend this as best practice. It'll work for us now because I have zero security in this system and I'm just testing it out and I'm the only person using the website, so really not much can go wrong. But if you have multiple people filling out the form, then you're risking a situation where they get the wrong PDF generated. And in that case, you're going to want to do something slightly more complex in terms of making sure that you're passing the correct data to the template. This is just for demonstration purposes and to kind of give you some food for thought in terms of what you can do with this PDF generator. Really, the sky is the limit. There's a lot that can be done here. So on after save, what we're going to be doing is generating that PDF. And what I want to do is I want to add another button, which is going to hopefully allow us to download that PDF, or at least open it in a new tab. So let's add that blue button here. And I'm going to change the text of that blue button to download PDF. And I'm going to change the name here as well. So download PDF button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it hidden initially. And after we get back the PDF data over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an event listener for that PDF button. So it's download PDF button dot on click. And what it's going to do is essentially use this media get download URL endpoint that we built. So let me import that over here. So import get download URL from backend/media. So on click, what we're going to do is we're going to say const download URL equals to await. We're going to need to make this asynchronous now. Get download URL. And what we're going to need to pass in here is that Wix style URL that we get back from the PDF generator. So let me see. Oh, luckily I still have it open and I did not close it. So it's basically this file URL. Okay, so it's whatever we get back dot file URL. So right over here, it's going to be this PDF dot file URL. And once we get that download URL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to it using Wix location. So let's import Wix location front end, and then I'm going to say Wix location front end dot to, and then we're going to go to the download URL. And I'm actually not sure what's going to happen here in terms of if it's going to navigate to that page in the browser or if it will just download the URL. I don't recall, so we'll see now after I do it. But let's also add in here console.log download URL, just in case. Download URL. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. There's, I guess, some chance that there's a bug, but overall, I'm quite confident about this code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and publish. And I'm going to open the site in a new tab and go to form. And let's generate our PDF. So I'm going to say here, awesome title. And this will be a very good paragraph. And now I need to find a picture that I can actually upload from my computer. So let me take a look. This should be, I think, just a one of the thumbnails from a previous video of the YouTube channel. And then I'm going to go ahead and click submit. Oh, I didn't tell the button to show. That's a bummer. Okay, let's first see if this works initially to generate the PDF, and then we can do the next stage. Okay, content has been submitted. So let me just go here and inspect console. Maybe I don't have a log there. Console.log PDF. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we uploaded the PDF successfully. Let me just see what that PDF looks like. So let's go over here to, media. That would be, zoom out right here. Media, show more, generated PDFs, PDF test 4, and file info, copy URL, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, awesome. I'm very happy with this. Oh, now on Udemy, by the way, I'll take the opportunity to put in a little advertisement. It was not intentional. But yeah, but my Velo for Beginners course is now on Udemy and it's at a huge discount. So if you want to try out the course, then I'd recommend checking it out on Udemy. It's also a nice way to support the channel if you don't mind, assuming that you give a nice review. Yeah, so now let's just deal with the downloading part. So basically my mistake was that over here, I need to show the button. Okay, so after we set this on click event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the button. So button download button dot show. Cool. What we could also do is put this, if this doesn't work, another direction that you can take is that you can put this outside of the on-click and not even set up the on-click, but set up instead the link. So download PDF button dot link and then set it to be the download URL. That's another direction that you can take. Let's try publishing this. And I'm going to refresh the form. Awesome. And another great title. And this will be an even better paragraph. Just going to make sure that I actually published. Yeah, okay, pretty sure. Paragraph and paragraph. And let's upload another picture from a different video and hit submit. So awesome, the content has been submitted. And we're waiting for the PDF to come back. So maybe I would put in here a loader if this was for real. Okay, now our download PDF button is here. And if I go ahead and click that, then it downloaded it to my computer. And if I open it in a new tab, another great title, and actually another, wow, this is really not intentional. This is actually another thumbnail from the Udemy course, just without the Udemy title. Awesome. So that is what I wanted to show you guys. I'm pretty excited about this because it's essentially a free PDF generator built out of a Wix website. It's still a little on the experimental side. I haven't really tried more advanced things like attaching the PDF to an email or something like that, but I think it's definitely down the line. I'd love to hear your ideas, things that you're trying with it, or if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, and if you want to see more like this every week, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And we're very close to 3,000 subscribers, so that means that we have a live stream coming up. So I'll probably post about that soon, asking you for ideas for the live stream, and I'll see you next time.